Yala in Bagili County, district number 5, is a blessing. If you take a careful look out there, you will see our brothers and sisters in events. Mr. Jety has employed more than 600 of our citizens. Not to just do that, Mr. Jety has also built a clinic that worth more than 300,000 in this place. The more of that you will see. Mr. Jety is also providing financial aid to university graduates in this country, in Ghana, especially in Bagili County. So we want to tell you, on the reason, that the coming of Mr. Jety is a blessing to Liberia, it's a blessing to Monrovia and to all parts of this country. Because there are people who live in Monrovia that have been here to work. There are people who came from different countries. Some of our brothers came from Lofa, came from Grand Bassa, but we are working here. What we want to say to you on the reason, we have been following some Balu and back to the man in this country. There are no brothers who feel that the man is related. But I, Robert Johnson, along with some conscious mind like you, I can't appeal to you. Not only for the man. Maybe the man is going to create a third rate in this country. What I say that, I'm trying to say, if ever company is not up to Mr. Jety, if you go to Brazil, there's a system set there. You can carry a robot on wheelbarrow or motorbike to go and sell to that place. They will not allow you. But the people that have in mind, all of these they will go on the river farms, they will steal people rubber for them and put them on motorbike. When they take it to the rubber broken area, they will go and sell it. They will sell it to the rubber broker, and the rubber broker will not ask a question. They will automatically go and buy the rubber. Then what they are also doing, our minister, they are discouraging investors. If you take rubber from Liberia and ship it to Malaysia, what you are doing now, you are creating joy for thousands of Malaysians. Then we as Liberians will be out of job. So we want to encourage the investors to bring confidence to the place to have a finished product. We will not be producing rubber in this country and we cannot see rubber producing. We can be producing rubber in this country. We can get tires. Our tires cannot run tires. When we see Liberian tires on the world market. So we are currently appealing to the Honourable Minister. Please convey our message to the President. Let a moratorium remain in place. When a moratorium remains in place, it's going to help the local farmers for their farms to be protected. Criminals will not go there to take their proceeds. End of 2021, when I first time came to survey this land, to see this land, there are people sitting in here. We started from the police station. We walked for 2.5 hours. I still remember police commander was with me. We came somewhere here. There's a big hill and there was a house made of 5 stone bricks. That was the first time in my life I walked over Monkey Bridge. Not one time, 3-4 times. People of Liberian region, they know what Monkey Bridge is. It's made of a log. And there are 2 rivers here. So after surveying it, but today, after less than 2 years, there are over 70 to 80 shops in Viala. In the night, even 2 o'clock you go, you will find food to eat, you can find clubs, and all of them they enjoy and they rejoicing. That is the split of the effect of a factory. I got my incentive agreement from the government of Liberia sometime early of 2022, and I started my construction on June 13, 2022. Exactly 14 months, this whole structure was built and was ready to do the trial run of the commissioning of the machines. We started our trial run of production of rubber in November, and today we are happy to report we are processing TSR5, which is the best grade of rubber available all across the globe, which is used to make tires, high quality tires, and we are exporting that also. Not only that, we are exporting PSR 10 and PSR 20. But due to lack of sufficient quantity of rubber, because I need the machines I have 72,000 tons of rubber a year, or 225 to 250 tons of rubber. I am only able to get maximum in 1 month 4,400 tons, which comes to 130 135 tons a day. And I'm running my factory at 55 to 60% capacity. And last week, 2 weeks ago, I was shut down because I didn't have enough rubber. Once coming, you don't have seen it. I do not have my rubber yards are empty. As an industry, I need to keep 90 days stock. And I'm keeping only maximum as of today 24, 25 days stock. As regards employment, I have around about 500 employees, and we take around about 100 to 150 casual laborers on daily basis. People will be talking about feeding, because feeding, I believe feeding is God's work. I'm just doing God's work, I'm not doing anything else. Workers, rubber farmers who come into Jety rubber, they are fed here. Even 3 shifts, we are feeding workers. Because that is something God's blessing on me. My further plan, if I get sufficient rubber, and I'm in discussion with some plantations, some rubber farmers, to get latex rubber. And I want to have the vision of President, build Liberia, love Liberia, think Liberia. And I want to say, made in Liberia. Because I want to make, in next 18 months, if I get sufficient rubber, another rubber band and rubber gloves for use for surgical and medical purposes. And I promise in this public manner, because I've spent 37 years of life, still people call me, I'm a foreigner. When a foreigner is getting jobs, they don't call him foreigner. When foreigner is doing things for Liberia, he's not a foreigner. But when he's building a factory, when he's creating jobs, he's a foreigner. I really want to spell out on this situation because people are just trying to assassinate, demean, and harass and assassinate my character by saying I served as India's only consul general for 27 years. I was decorated by the President of India simultaneously in Lopa, along with the current President. I was decorated by Mrs. Anna Johnson Sirleaf. And I'm saying another in public manner, if I'm able to get sufficient raw material, I will promise to the people of Liberia that in 48 months, the tire which has never been produced in Liberia, which has been a dream of every Liberian citizen, I will make Jety car in Liberia. But I'm only asking, give me the raw material. What raw material? Latex and unprocessed rubber. That is my only request. And I've said over and over, I'm prepared to buy at fair market value. Let the government agencies fix the price. I do not have a problem. But it should be fair market value comparative to the sub-region where we are getting rubber from. With these things, I just want to say, I will support the vision of our President, Joseph Babai, love Liberia, think Liberia, and build Liberia, and made in Liberia. I thank you all.
Mr. Jety, we say thank you for everything that you have done to ease the challenges smallholder farmers face during the course of the period that you came. Thank you so much. We are farmers. We have a greater challenge with market sometime by. Five to now take all of our rubber. They have to rationalize smallholder farmers on-time basis of shipment. And that was very critical. It was this time that we saw a lot of people keep in the market to buy rubber. And buying the rubber, not buying it fair from the farmers, affect the farmer. It affects the farmer that they could not break even. It creates a lot of hazards. We are farmers. But our PAL, we are member of the rubber producing country in the world. Being a member, we have to be compliant to international law. We have trade, but with the brokers that are on the field, they use finances and go on the very farm and establish their rubber buying station. Instead, they are not buying from the farmers themselves, but instead they are buying from criminals. These are the challenges that we farmers face with. So on this background, we the farmers are being affected. Those people on the street causing noise, they are not farmers. They are the middlemen that we're speaking of today. So the full development that we need in this country, as we said, Lord Liberia, build Liberia. So on this side, we will build Liberia when we are protected as a farmer. If we are not protected, then we are being left on the water side. And it won't also well for us as a country. Now in Ivory Coast, it is no longer a ban, but it's a law banning all unprocessed rubber shipping from the country. In Sri Lanka, it is not unprocessed rubber, but it is this processed rubber should be manufactured in their country. 15% of that amount should be exported. But here in Liberia, it has turned to become a black market. We need to be protected, Mr. President. We need to be protected, and we are paying our taxes to the government. We need to be protected. These brokers are not compliant to tax payment. They are not employing people. They are not the ones being infected directly. As we know, rubber is a foreign exchange earner as compared to other costs and commodities. So notwithstanding, we are seeing the government that the moratorium be placed on unprocessed rubber are in place. So for this reason, we are in support of that. In terms of body addiction, you cannot export your job into other countries. If you allow rubber to be shipped unprocessed, you are exporting your job for your Liberian citizen. So let the government know this. Give our kids, we are explaining our situation. But it seems to be like the brokers are out there, they are misleading and getting misleading information out there that is affecting us as a farmer. We are the farmer being affected, it is not the middleman. Let us message go across. The farmers are very basic to do their farming activity, not to go to protest on the street. We will never do that, but if the government wants us to do so, to know the importance of what we are doing, then regulators will have no choice. They will be asking our farmers to take the street if only they allow the brokers to take over the sector.
For our small farmers, you heard my sister saying, it eliminates the whole idea of a middleman. So they are able to sell directly to the buyers. And that's important. It means it eliminates all of the percentage they have to pay to the middleman. So they're getting the direct money. That's very, very important. The second thing why this is important for the smallholder is because Mr. Jety has provided a choice for them in terms of who they can sell to. Now, they don't necessarily have to take their products to finance them. They can sell it. That's important. So what Jety has done is that he has brought the market closer to the people. Anybody who knows about small business issues in this country will agree with me that one of the constraints of small businesses is the access to market. So Mr. Jety, the fact that you build a factory here, you deliver of markets to our people. And we want to thank you for that. Why is this important again for the smallholder? It is important because they bring the rubber here and then it can lead to value addition. So you're not leaving the smallholder behind. You're bringing them on stream in the economy. And we think that is very important. Number two, this factor is important because it creates rural jobs. This is very important. Mr. Jety, by bringing this factor here, has created jobs for our rural community, and by that, he is, by their money, they're putting food on their own table. And to that extent, he's helping to reduce crime. Because normally when people don't have a lot to do, they will engage in other undesirable activities. So that is a good thing. You're creating jobs for our country. Now, this factor, like my sister pointed out, will lead to foreign exchange for Liberia. It's a foreign exchange earner for the country. And what I want to say in that respect is that I hope and pray that the foreign exchange that will come to Liberia as a result of this factor being here, I pray that will come to our country and will not go to any other bank outside Liberia. I want to assure you of the support of the Ministry of Commerce and by extension the government. Whatever we can do to support your effort, we're going to do it because this is consistent with the government effort to develop the industrial sector.
You know, the National Investment Commission has to make an investment decision for our country. And one of the decisions we made is to work with Mr. Jety to provide him incentives for which now you're saying this factory being constructed. It is necessary as a government to ensure that Mr. Jety succeeds. Because if he succeeds, we as a government also succeed. It was also important to hear Mr. Jety say that he's dedicated to the sector and dedicated to the success of farmers. I've looked at the issue now being discussed, and the issue surrounds prices. But Mr. Jety has expressed his willingness to be flexible so that we can solve the issue across the value chain. And this is a good thing. And so, my brother, thank you for that effort. And to all of you, both farmers, producers, processors, the National Investment Commission, along with our fellow ministers, will work to solve the issue as it affects all our citizens, no matter which part of the value chain you come from. I can give you that assurance. And Mr. Jety, we will work with you to ensure that your investment is realized.
We've been in Liberia as statesmen growing up to this level. We've not seen any serious attempt made to support value addition in the rubber industry. So when we were putting our thoughts together, one of the first things we thought of was, how can we support value addition in the rubber industry? I was not so much concerned about supporting production, but I was focused more on what can be done to improve value addition. We've gone to places and they were asked, Liberia produces rubber, but if you look at any of the rubber material, you will never see anything made in Liberia. We thought that was a concern. We thought about it, we considered it, and so we thought to make it as one of the pillars of our agricultural development agenda. We want to make sure that Liberians and private sector participants in this country have the necessary support, both policy and investment, to be able to ensure value addition in the rubber sector. So we are committed to that. His Excellency, the President, has always said, and he means it, the rubber sector has to be developed, and we must develop it holistically.
I realized that in 1961, Cote d'Ivoire, our neighbor, produced just 82 metric tons of rubber in 1961. In 1961, Liberia produced 41,000 metric tons of rubber in 1961. This year, the record that I have tells me Liberia produced 118,000 metric tons of rubber. But Cote d'Ivoire today produces 1.6 million metric tons of rubber. So what has gone wrong? What has happened to Liberia? Many things have gone wrong. The president is looking into this moratorium seriously because the moratorium has revealed that the problem in the rubber industry is much deeper than we think it is. The farmers, I agree. The processors, I agree. They all have concerns. The actors that are representing the farmers, like the Rubber Planter Association, the Rubber Development Fund, all have issues that need to be addressed. Some of the concerns have to do with fair pricing. Farmers want to have fair prices for what they produce. And we are committed to ensuring that the prices that will be given or offered farmers will be fair enough. Whatever will be done to make it fair enough, the government is committed to doing that, and we will do it. But we also believe that those who are at the latter end of the value chain, the processors, also have a concern. Their concern is access to the raw material. Because if you want to have finished product, you must have the raw material that will go into the production. So they have a concern. As a government, it is our responsibility to be able to sit with all of these partners to identify the issue. What can we do as a government to ensure that the value addition that we crave for in our rubber industry is realized? What can we also do to ensure that the welfare of our farmers, the producer at the bottom of the rubber value chain, also have an improvement in their welfare? That's where we're going to be interacting with all of the actors, including the associations that represent them. The fund that they contribute to. I know as Minister of Agriculture that the farmers pay money to the Rubber Planter Association, they pay money to the Rubber Development Fund, so we want to know what are some of the benefits that they accrue from making that contribution. We are going to be looking into those ones. So the rubber industry is going to be looked at deeper than what the moratorium or Executive Order 124 is offering us. We will be looking into that. So I can show you the producers. I can show you the processors who are in the value chain, that your concerns will be addressed and everybody will be satisfied. His Excellency has assured that. He would have loved to be here today, but there were other issues that came up that made him to ask us, along with the delegation, to deputize for him. So we're going to be taking the message to him. I heard you smallholder farmers. In fact, I've got a petition from you. But when you spoke, you expressed the desire that the president keeps in place the moratorium. And you told us what good that would do for you. We got your message. We also heard from the community, those who are benefiting from the investment that Mr. Jety has brought into this community. We've got your concern. We know your message is clear. You need a moratorium. But the president will make the decision. We will do what we need to do and give him the right piece of suggestion, so that based on the suggestion, he will make the decision. We also heard from the association that are representing farmers. And I saw a group of farmers standing up here to show that what their association was saying is a representation of what she said. So we got it clearly. We got the message. One thing I heard also from the Planter Association president is that the brokers, if we as the government will allow the brokers to seize the rubber sector, that they will get in the street. We don't want anybody getting into the street. And because of that, we will do our best as the government to address this situation clearly. But I also want to let you know, as farmers, you know, we thought about the value chain approach to developing the agricultural sector. And by value chain approach, we know there are different actors. You got the producers at the bottom of the chain. You got some middlemen providing other services or purchasing and selling. Then at the upper end, we have the processors. So everybody has an interest that has to be protected. So we will ensure that His Excellency receive the messages you have given us. We will do a deeper dive into the situation, as my colleague from the NRC said. We will look into it and make the appropriate suggestions so that the processors themselves are able to utilize the capacity of their plant. I heard Mr. Jety say he operates below 60%. And that's true for all the processors I have spoken to. When the president sent me, he sent me to lead a delegation that will tour the facility. Mr. Jety, the president still wants to come by here and do the formal launching of this factory at the appropriate time, when he has the time. So, at the end of this ceremony, we will be doing a tour. That tour will give us a visible view of what is here, even though we've seen some on paper. But the idea of cutting the ribbon, we won't do that. The president will come by at the appropriate time and do the cutting. So Mr. Jety will lead on another tour, along with the cabinet and other members of the delegation here, to observe and tell him what we've seen here, and tell him we saw this there. I was impressed when the traditional people met us on the road. They escorted us. That was the honor that befitted the president, but we are glad we received it. So our traditional people will say thank you, and thank you.
Please. You see, when we get the raw rubber, it's not produced the same day. We take the raw rubber, we store it for 2-3 days, sometime 1 week even. Then we bring it to this unit, which I just put it recently. That's what I wanted President to inaugurate it. To do the launching from there. It's called pre-treatment unit. And you will look at it as a small area, but it's over $1 million unit. The purpose is it increase the capacity, it increase the PO and PRI of the rubber. When we take this rubber, we shred it like this. And then we store it for 14 to 28 days. And we do the testing every day. I will show you my lab. And when we test it, then we know the quality and the strength of this rubber. And what happens is, if you look at it, I'm the only company here who has produced TSR5. TSR5 is used for making of plain tires. Everybody wants to do the easy job. I don't want to do the easy job. It will take me a lot of more workers, but I'm happy to do that. We have almost 7 to 8 operators in our factory. They are women. Tractor operator, bobcat operator, forklift operator. Liberians. They are Liberians. You can ask her. She's a born of Margibi. They were jobless since 2016 when WRC closed because of lack of raw material. It goes up. This is the pre-treatment area. This is a bucket elevator. This is the slab cutter one. It uses 200 horsepower of motor. So you can understand 200 horsepower means 500 kV of generator. So when the rubber comes from here, it comes in this shape. Please look at it. It's okay? Now from here, look at it. It's going into these trolleys for keeping and curing. It takes us 14 to 28 days, not 1 day. And this is all US dollars. I'm buying at the moment $525 a ton. And I'm paying my 4% every tax what government deserves. So please come here, Minister. It has cut into this small piece. It's not clean yet. It's just for a curing process. So we'll keep it for 14 to 28 days. So you can understand how much investment is tied up. Again, we have our tractor operator. She's a lady. I say, Oma, please drive it so they can see you can drive it. Okay, reverse it now. Another lady, you can ask Minister, she's a Liberian. She didn't come from India. She's from Viala. It's written here when this rubber was cut. 27/3/2024. This is the weight what we used here. On all the bins you can see. And I'm surprised to see, I want to talk on the social media. There's a one person, he said he has opened a factory. He has one bin like this. One bin, which can store 300 to 400 tons of rubber. He called that one a factory. I think it's a shame on us if we believe that is a factory.
Who is that?
Somebody on Bongmai Road. He's assassinating my character every day. That I don't have a factory, I don't have one machine even, that's what he says. And they say, I'm shipping unprocessed rubber. Let somebody come and produce it, that I shipped 1 ton of 1 kilo of unprocessed rubber since I started the production of the factory, trial run, since October. Look at it. This rubber I can produce in 10 days. That's the only stock I have. Because I'm not getting it. Please look at it. Gentlemen, please look at it, that side. You don't destroy people like that. They send somebody with a needle. I will show you the needle, what place we found that needle. On the platform, I will show you. If this is not a factory, you will never have a factory in this country. It's the biggest structure in this country. It cost me $36 million, and it's my own money. Then they say I'm using different people's money. I can prove you my money came from America.
Trust you, they will not give it money. So it doesn't matter whose money you use.
Look at it. And it comes back here. This is another slab cutter. Brother Sahib, you should see it. Today tell my brother. The brother say, I want to do karai. Look at it. Not only the rubber, whether you take steel, whether you take anything. The biggest one comes from here. And people want to invest only in Mongolia. I've seen 100 mines out of Mongolia. The macerators. The process goes on run 24 hours. No shutting down. Yeah, I'm running on generator. I will prove you. I'm just asking the government to support me. I will change the history of rubber in this country. They say you can't make tires. I will make it here. Look at it.
Machine दिखा दो बोलो हम we can make a part here in Nigeria. Lathe machine time ही नहीं.
Look at it, sir. This is a laboratory. I will bring you at the end. It's a modernized laboratory which I have it. Let me come and show you, sir. Now this is the rubber. No, I will show you what is exported. This is the rubber. After all that, this has come out. No, this is not the final product. Just wait. To increase the PO and PRI, because that's the elasticity index of the rubber. We do not that, nobody will buy the rubber. So we just do a very small content, because smallholder farmers, instead of using formic acid, they use sulfuric acid. And that's not good for the rubber. So that's why we have to use this acid. And other members of the team, every 6 minutes, one of this one goes in to bake, and one of that one come outside on that side. This is the dryer, and in this dryer we use what I will use is diesel to fuel it, plus electricity. And this is 42 trolley dryer, and it has a capacity of 144 tons of dry rubber a day. Dry rubber. So that means for that, I need approximately 225 to 250 tons of rubber a day, wet rubber. What are you getting now? Max these days, 30 tons, 35 tons. It dries the rubber. It takes 4.5 hours to dry this rubber. 4.5 hours. One trolley you put in, before it comes out, it's 4.5 hours. Bishop, this is it. No, I will show you the end product. This is when it goes in 4.5 hours. It will take time to bake. This is the baking oven, you can call it, but in scientific term, we call it as a dryer, with a capacity of 144 tons. Because there's still water in there, so this is steam which pumps outside. And we are fueling the dryer on diesel. Normally, to cut down the cost, people use it on wood chip, like Firestone is using on wood chip. Lac is on also wood chip. But I don't have that facility available. I don't have plantation. I'm using diesel. Come again? No, I have the connection. Yeah, I have the connection. Moni was very helpful to me. When he became it, I had to spend almost $1 million to bring the LEC infrastructure here. Because I brought my own substation. I will show you my substation also. This automatically goes in 4.5 hours. Now one has come out, one goes in, one comes out. Please, let's go see it. about 120-degree heat, but it's insulated, very heavily insulated. You will never feel the heat. I'm applying for ISO. If I need that, I have to follow the guidelines of ISO. Please look at it. 124, 123, 116, 94. That's the temperature inside. कम करे No, it's not hot. Okay, look at it. This is not TSR 10. Looking at it, I can tell you. But I have to do a chemical test. I have a full lab here to do that, whether it meets the standards of TSR 10.
Yes.
I will show you the lab also.
TSR.
TSR 10, technical specified rubber.
TSR 10. Is that like an international compliant law?
That's correct. I'm under ISO review. They have done everything. I will get an ISO certificate very quickly. To go back to Malaysia or China, they will reprocess it. No country will buy TSR. So it's 35 kilo, then we make a bale out of it. That is not what bothers me. They say, I have no factory, I have no worker. They just like to malign their character because they have received money. How many kilo is it? So now you will see it. So it's a 100-ton hydraulic press. Twin chamber hydraulic press. So these people, their job is to look at it and take out the white spots. Every bale, as per ISO standard, we have to check it. All these people, I've trained them in the past 5 months. I challenge, I have over almost 500 staff members here, Liberians, all from Viala here or Margibi. You see they're taking this one? Cut a sample. Then we take it to the lab to do a test. And these samples we keep here for 6 months. Look at it now. It can pass. Then it comes into this. Yeah, again. Please look at it.
And now they have by November they will have 45 of this plant.
Please,
Now they
that,
have 45 of them.
please look at it. She's a Liberian, oh.
Yes, a woman too. That's a woman too coming.
Not from India, oh.
Yeah, oh.
She's not a foreigner, oh.
I hear you.
Look at it. Oma, please come closer. Just turn around, turn around.
I'm so impressed. I'm happy. Yes.
She was jobless. She came from Monrovia to get a job.
Very nice.
No, I beg you.
Very nice.
After 2 metal detector, we were trying to load a container. We wanted one particular pallet.
Yeah.
Mr. Marshall, if I'm lying, please correct me.
Yes, sir.
There was a guy called Fambula. Is he here?
Yeah, he on the field. That's
Okay, Fambula. This needle juked him. Then they discovered, what is it? They found a needle in a pallet. You know what they did? To sabotage me. When they sabotage me, every country in the world doesn't want a rubber from me. So all this $36 million investment goes into vain. Who can do that? People who don't like you, who don't want you to succeed. If this is what you want to do to the investors, I don't think any investor wants to come here. Mr. Minister, please look at it. It was God's blessing. God is in this world. My God is with me. He protected me. Otherwise, this was going to Turkey. And they will put maybe $10 million claim on me. $10 million.
Yes.
Because it goes into the machine, machines collapses,
Yes.
different claims will come up.
Quality control.
Mr. Marshall, is it correct?
Yes, sir.
Please speak at how you found it.
Yeah, we were loading and remaining only 4 pallets remaining that night, around about 8 o'clock. When the boy was about to look at the number under here, that when the needle jerked him mysteriously. Yes. So it was God the one that detected this, because we don't have nothing else to do with needle. We are not making
Because
those.
already I've shown you, we
Yeah,
passed
but
through
the detector,
two
everything.
metal detectors.
Then why should he come here? It means that someone wanted to sabotage this business. So we called him immediately on the spot and we showed this needle.
So I'm giving as a sample. No. Then do you think anybody want to do investment? This one only controls these machines. This particular area, it does not control anything else. I think I will leave you the laboratory. Let me show you the other structures. This is the place where I control my whole factory from. Please, Dr. Richardson and all. Dr. Richardson, please come. Please, Dr. Richardson, this is a control panel, a PLC unit,
Yes.
which is the latest in the whole world.
Wow.
My supplier told me there is only one in West Africa. This is the one.
Wow.
It came as a single unit in a 40-foot container.
You just go this way.
Please come so. So what it does is, I have 5 generators.
Wow.
Each generator is 1250 kVA. Then I have 2 generators, 200 kVA. Then I have an electrical situation, means if I get LEC. Then I have an HFO unit. Whichever electricity we needed, first our priority is LEC. Otherwise, 2 generators uses or 3, it will automatically start it, it will shut it down.
Okay.
When the load goes down, it shuts it down. Then this portion, it's called power factor correction panel. What it does is, when you start a heavy machine, like 200 kV, I show you horsepower, 300 horsepower, those machines, motors. The electrical, you will see the current goes low, but this does not let it happen.
Okay.
And you will see it, you can walk around, see it, there is no wire you will ever see in this. So this is one of the latest thing you will ever see it around here. It has to be continuously monitored and 24 hours on air conditioning. Otherwise, it can spoil.
Wow. Our investment.
And it's fully automatic. When the fuel comes,
How many gallons of fuel per day?
I use 3,500 gallons fuel per day. If I use 24 hours, I use 3,500 gallons per day. And because I have to use 2 at one time. And I clean the fuel. I have a unit to clean the fuel. Because the fuel is very dirty here. I'm getting 406 volts, 407 volts. It cannot run my factory. I need 415 to 420 volts. So now I have ordered for another unit which is called servo transformer. 3 megawatt, which will cost me like $250,000 is on the way. That will boost up the voltage.
Thank you for.
You You see the thickness of wires? Everything is done here. First kind in this country, it's a rain harvesting tank. Because I use a lot of water here. When the rain comes, we put the water here and then we utilize that. And this tank has a capacity of 3.8 million liters.
So do we do some purification? Purify?
No, I don't do that. I just check the pH level.
The pH level.
If the pH level is 7 to 7.5, I can utilize it.
Yep.
If it's not that, I will not utilize. Then I will drain it out. This is a major thing in rubber factory. Environmental impact.
Yes.
And this is the only factory in this country.
Recycle.
I'm recycling water. I will show you that. I have done a system called geomembrane and geofabric. So what it does is, you see the water comes from the factory here. Let me show you all. The water is coming from the factory. It goes here because to take out the rubber, then with the weight, the water goes from the first pipe into the first pond. Then from there it comes into the second pond here. Then goes from this pipe to the third pond. Then to the fourth pond. From the fourth pond, it will take 21 days from the water from first pond to the fourth pond. Then we bring it back in. We only use hydrated lime. And when the pH level is 7 to 7.5, we bring it back. We utilize 60% of old water and 40% of fresh water. I will show you the color of it. And then also, I have done to support that water because sometimes the water is excess. I have planted over 18,000 stumps of pineapple.
Okay,
To harvest pineapple with that water, because that's the fertilizer for itself. If God bless me, Jeety rubber survives, next year I will supply the market with pineapples.
awesome.
Not only local market, I will try to export it.
Yes.
Just to prove that it can be done in Republic of Liberia. When you have a will, where there is will, there is way. I'm not a farmer, I'm a trader.
You just learned all of this.
That's it. So this is the fire hydrant. This is the water reservoir. This 500,000 liter reservoir.
Okay. So in case of any fire hazard.
I'm fully prepared. That third one is connected to diesel. In case there is a fire which is linked to LEC, I have to cut it. I will use a diesel pump.
Okay.
If I start that, I challenge it. The water will go from here to that blue behind that something, at least 100 meter. The pressure is so high you cannot control. I think I showed you pressure last time.
Yes. Okay.
Now to support my factory, I've given a contract to install 4 megawatt of HFO plant because I cannot survive on these generators. Yes, I will use LEC, one is there, but LEC will not be sufficient 6 months a year. Because any country which is using a hydro which is based on flow, it cannot give you electricity.
Yeah.
And HFO, you have to call overseas mechanics and all that. But for me, I'm getting it from India with a program. You know, they will provide me service, maintenance, and it will cost me cheaper than LEC. Look at it. This is the recycled water which is coming in the green one. To substitute it, we use a mixture. 40%, 60% of old recycled water, 40% new water. So no water goes in the ground. We check at least every 6 hours the pH level of the water. Once pH level is 7 and above, it's beautiful.
Correct. Yeah.
If it's not there, we stop, wait for the next day. So this is a small tour of our factory.